What's up, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of the Lollipodcast. And today, I'm joined once again by the wonderful, the amazing,
Yes.
this guy.
Yes.
I'm not naming you anymore because last episode you said you wanted to talk about Minecraft story mode. I really didn't want you to be here again, but you know what? He's here, and we're not gonna talk about Minecraft story mode today because fuck Trombone and fuck what he wants. Tomorrow. Alright. Anyways, we have this guy. We're not talking about him anymore because he sucks. We have the other amazing, wonderful guest from episode 1, Jezerlol 2000.
I guess.
Hey, look at that.
That's
He
me.
returned.
That's him.
It's me.
Now you might be wondering, wait, but when Jezer talks, his face doesn't go green like me. Well, yeah, that's because he's on the same microphone as me right now. Basically, we were trying to schedule the fucking podcast before Friday, and it didn't work out that well, so we managed. He was actually coming to my town for some, he had to come here, so I was like, alright, let's take an hour and fucking do the podcast here, IRL. So that works out.
Yeah.
He's here. We're doing it.
Yep.
And we're on schedule. Yay. We did talk about schedules in the first episode and how shit we are at them, but we're trying our best. It's working
we're
out.
managing.
We're managing. It's working out. So
I just want to say, I'm sorry to cut you off. If my
you do.
mic goes green like that, that's because there's thunder and lightning outside.
Yeah, me too. The weather is really bad. Like the power might cut out mid podcast. Honestly.
Yeah, it would be bad, but
it's great for me because my internet seems to work when there's thunder and lightning outside, but when it's just a clear sunny day, it decides to just go off.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I can always edit it out if we ever get cut off. We can start from where we left off or something. We'll see. Maybe it won't even happen. But, technical issues always happen, and if there's bad weather and we're filming, it's gonna crash. So,
yeah.
We're calling it right now. But yeah, if you're wondering why Jezer is even in the call, even though he's on my microphone, well, we're using two different headphones, so he can hear Trombone and his beautiful, amazing voice. He needs a headphone on his phone, so.
Oh yeah, I'm Trombone, by the way.
Are you?
Huh,
I don't know.
his name.
It's his first time on the show. Everybody, welcome Trombone. Tell us more about you, Trombone. We don't let the audience know who you are.
I just had 2 slices of pepperoni pizza.
Alright, cool. That's great information. Alright. So this week, as you can probably see from the title, we're going to be talking about remasters and re-releases and everything in between. Basically, games that are being released multiple times, whether it be a remaster or a fucking lazy-ass port. So we're going to go into that, and that's the main topic for today. We'll see if we talk about grocery stores again, but
No, it won't happen. Not this time.
Not this time. Alright, cool.
So, today at the grocery store...
So I'm going to start off by asking you guys a question here. And I'm going to say, what is, in your opinion, the best remaster that has come out?
Ooh.
Wow. That hits hard. It really does.
It's not easy, but
Oh,
Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh, wait, no. Alright, I got it. So, I am a real big fan of the Borderlands series. And, before this came out, Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 sequel got ported over to the Xbox One.
Yeah.
They bumped it up to 60 FPS for them, and they added the field of view slider. The thing is, they didn't release Borderlands 1 until a couple months ago, earlier this year. And oh my god, it's so beautiful. I love what they did with the game. It's honestly my favorite remaster to come out this year, and probably my favorite remaster of all time, just because they put love into the game. They updated it visually. HUD elements and such look so much better. And it still retains the original, like how it originally played. They didn't actually fix any bugs.
They tweaked some stuff, like the menus are better, the final boss, I think they changed it a little bit, stuff like that, just to make the game better.
About that.
Yeah, about that.
Not really.
But you really think Borderlands is a better remaster than Halo, for example?
Yes, because I see. I wanted to say Halo. I really did.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
and mind you, when Halo MCC came out, I was with it the entire time. I loved it when it had bugs, and when they fixed it, I was so happy to see that they actually didn't abandon it,
Yeah,
and they were still working on it. But
Mhm.
the reason why I don't say Halo is because it had such a crappy start, and when I wanted to play co-op with friends, I couldn't play co-op, or it would be so laggy. It was um, awful
Unplayable. Yeah, definitely.
and
Yeah.
unplayable. Yeah. So, but when Borderlands 1 came out, the only launch issue it had is some PCs couldn't actually stream the game, or
Yeah,
for some reason,
I couldn't stream the game at all for some
yeah,
reason. I
for
don't
some
know.
reason they have it locked at 50 hertz, 1080p. But I don't know what the issue is there. There might be a fix. I don't know yet,
They might have
but
fixed it by now, but I don't
yeah,
recall seeing an update for the game.
there wasn't any, like, Borderlands didn't have major technical issues when it first
No.
came out.
No,
And
unless they were trying to stream it.
and Borderlands 1 was my favorite Borderlands. It still is my favorite Borderlands to this day. So it holds a soft spot in my heart because it's also one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And I can't stop playing it.
Yeah, well, I think for me it's I don't know actually. I want to say Halo, but at the same time, Spyro, dude. Fucking Spyro. I'm so glad they
yeah.
remastered Spyro. The thing is, Spyro was a bit rushed. Some levels in Spyro 3 are, oh my god, they're fucking glitchy. It's like, it's not the perfect remake, but I'm just glad it exists, you know? I just wish Spyro 3 was a bit more polished, but, it's stuff they can patch out, I guess, but I don't know, I
Yeah.
guess every remaster has some kind of issue, so for me it's gotta be Halo or Spyro. What about you, Jezzer? Did you find an answer?
Honestly, I think personally, I'm a huge Nintendo fan,
Yeah.
and even though it's a lazy remaster, I think I'm still gonna say that the best one in my opinion is definitely Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS.
Yes.
It's kind of a weird game to say that it's a great remaster, but I really thought it was amazing. The fact that like the shitty bow controls you can like actually control with a gyro of the DS,
Mm-hmm.
and like the updated graphics, they kind of look like shit if you put them on a big screen, but on the super small 3DS
Yeah, the
screen,
3DS
they looked
screen.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, even though like they said they remade the game from the ground up, and it actually was just a freaking 64 game. They just put in new graphics on it, changed a couple animations, and that's pretty much what they did. But still, I'm just such a huge Zelda fan that honestly I don't think I can say any other game beats that to me.
See, the problem I have with this remaster, because I never really was that big into Ocarina of Time, and I've tried multiple times to get into it, because everyone keeps telling me it's such a great game, right? So, I played it on emulator, I played it on Nintendo 64 and stuff, but, like, I wish I could play a remastered version of that game, because I feel like the controls are just so outdated and stuff, I just can't get into it. The problem is, I'm not gonna buy a 3DS just to play Ocarina of Time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So I wish it wasn't on a portable device, and, like, well, I guess on the Switch it would be fine, but, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I've heard rumors that they might bring it to the Switch.
I hope
and
they
it's-
do.
And it's supposed to be an actual remaster this time. They might actually redo it for real.
See, I would
But-
try that.
There's absolutely no confirmation about that. It's just rumors, but it would be really awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's a great transition to, why are remasters even a thing? Well, outdated games with bad controls, bad graphics, etc. that are more up to date. You can now enjoy old games that either you love or you never even tried before. So I think that's like the biggest reason why Remastered exists. Of course, it's to make money at the end of the day, reselling the same game to the big fans. But
I'm sorry.
Overall, do you like remasters, or like would you rather like them not exist? If that makes sense.
I love remasters.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
me
if
too.
it's a game that I used to play back in the day and it like didn't age well over time, I really really like them. Like, and there's also games like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I've never played those games,
Yeah.
now I
It's a
can
great
experience
reason
them.
to revisit. Yeah, exactly.
And I can experience them again, but I can experience them updated. Like you can say all you want. Oh, you should experience the real thing, like what it was back then. It's like, why would I do that when I can play a more visually
Yeah.
pleasing game?
It's like
And
Halo. I would never recommend someone to go play Halo on the original Xbox.
Oh no.
I'd be like, get
Alright.
MCC, boy. You know?
It's much better that way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and even if you're playing on the old graphics, because you have an option in MCC where you can change from old to new graphics. Even on the old graphics, at least you have the performance of the new console. You have 60 FPS and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we mentioned Borderlands and Halo. Let's go into a little bit of the bad stuff here, though. Remasters that were a bit more like exploits to the fans and stuff that was pretty lazy, or that like they just threw together to release to make money and didn't really give a shit
About that.
Yeah, you know, stuff like Fable Anniversary, for
Oh, yeah.
example. I don't know if you've seen the faces of the characters in this game, but oh my god, they're fucking atrocious. Like, don't get me wrong, some parts look good, but oh my god, would you even call this a remaster? Like, it's fucking, I don't
Yeah.
know. There's multiple games like this that I could name. Another good example, actually, probably that's really bad. I don't know if you guys saw Dark Souls.
Oh god.
Did you see Dark Souls Remastered?
Oh my god.
I did not.
I'd recommend anyone watching to leave right now and go on YouTube and write Dark Souls Remastered comparison with original by I think Cropcat did it. So watch just like a 5 minute of that. You'll see what I mean. Then
Yeah.
come back here and tell us what the fuck you think about it. Because let me tell you, it looks worse than the original in
Yeah.
every aspect of it.
Yeah.
Try
Like,
Skyrim Special Edition.
it's like the only thing they did is like, okay, guys, what do we do? Remaster Skyrim? Not fucking Skyrim. What the fuck? Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
We want to remaster Dark Souls. Skyrim's another one we can talk about in a minute. But yeah, Dark Souls. Let's remaster Dark Souls. Okay, what do we do? You put the fucking game in Photoshop. Okay, what now? Put up the brightness to like 1,000. Oh, okay, that looks good. All right, ship it out.
That's not the only game that's done that though. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered.
Oh,
It looks way worse than the original.
yeah, I saw some screenshots of that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's bad.
But I
have
think,
it. I need to play it.
I think part of the reason it looks so bad, Dark Souls, though, is because they released the remastered version for the Switch, right?
Oh god.
For the Switch release.
The Switch
So-
one is so bad.
The thing about the Switch is it's like it's not that powerful of a machine, so they basically the remastered version of Dark Souls is basically a fucking downgrade of it, if that makes any sense. It's like it's worse. It's on a you know, it's not an improvement from the original.
No,
it's so
not.
stupid.
Because the thing is, the Switch is basically, it's like on a power level, like what it's capable of,
Yeah.
like pushing games. I'd say it's probably somewhere between like an Xbox 360 and like an old gen Xbox One, like an old Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's like kind of in between like those two. Like it's capable of playing like big games. But let's say, for example, they're about to release The Witcher 3 complete edition on the Switch, because that's what they love to do. They like put complete edition on Switch. Like, let's do that. It's gonna make money.
Yeah.
But they're about to do that for The Witcher, and just the trailers, they actually look really bad.
And The Witcher is a really great looking game.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I mean, there's still like the shading and stuff, but
Mhm.
since the shading and stuff is still there, like the graphics actually look pretty freaking bad. It's not a pretty game anymore.
But
on
at least
Switch.
it's not called Witcher Remastered.
Yeah,
you
no,
know, it's a port to
Yeah,
the
they
Switch.
actually they actually present it as a port. It's not freaking Ocarina of Time 3D I was talking about earlier, which
Mhm.
they said is a complete remaster. They built it from the ground up. It's actually just a straight up cash grab,
Yeah.
because they're capitalizing on people's nostalgia factor.
Well, a lot of companies do that with
Yeah.
remasters.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you look. I mean, even BioShock. Some people say it's pretty bad. I never played it. I wouldn't know. Apparently, it
got
looks
it.
pretty bad.
For like
Um,
$20. I don't know the difference though between the two. But
Exactly.
I have it. I need to play it.
And stuff like Dead Rising is another great example. Like, I'm a
Oh,
big
yeah.
Dead Rising fan, and when they released the triple bundle collection on next gen consoles, like Xbox One and stuff, I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And then I looked at it, and it's only they upscaled it to 1080p and it's 60 FPS. I mean, they didn't remaster anything, and it's not called Dead Rising Remastered, but they do mention that it's a remastered version of the original Dead Rising, which to some extent I guess it is, but really it's just a re-release. It's just a port on a newer console. I'm glad it came out on PC though, because on PC, I mean, you can boost that shit up and really make it a remaster, but I don't know. I mean, it's cool that it came out, and that's what I like. It's like old games. Like Dead Rising 1 is a 2006 old game. If I want to go play that, I need to boot up my old 360 and, play with fucking 20 FPS, right?
Yeah, screw that.
Whereas I can play for like $5. I can buy this one on sale and play on newer consoles, and it's not every remaster needs to recreate the game entirely, but I believe there's a fine line between lazy ass ports and actually remaster. Like you can't call a remaster like Dark Souls. Like it's not a remaster.
Yeah.
It's a fucking re-release. Let's be real.
I mean, look, if you were to compare Borderlands 1, the remastered and the original edition, you probably wouldn't be able to see a lot of differences.
Yeah.
But I would consider that a remastered, even though it's technically considered enhanced. I consider that a remaster because they kind of redid a lot of stuff. They fixed certain gun bugs. They kind of updated a few things, made things look a little bit prettier, fixed lighting in areas and such. I consider that remastered, but that's just me.
I mean, yeah, Borderlands, they actually remade stuff, right?
It added stuff to areas as well. There's more, if you look at Arid Badlands, compare the old from the new, you can see that there's some added added trees and such there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. Borderlands is definitely a remaster. They could have just ported the original with 60 FPS, right? But they actually went further than that. Like they could have done more. Don't get me wrong, but I think they did just enough.
Yeah,
like, they didn't even remaster the cutscenes. They just used the old ones.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and personally, I think that's what I kind of don't like about the remaster market is the fact that they can actually like just take a game, upscale it, make it 60 FPS. It's the exact same game with the same engine. Everything is the same.
You buy it again,
and they call it a remaster. Like I personally, I would prefer it if they were like saying, yeah, we're porting it to the new console. It's gonna have better performance.
Yeah.
But we didn't actually remake anything. But they advertise it as if it's like, yeah, we made it entirely and stuff.
I guess that's why some people call it a definitive edition and stuff like that instead of a remaster, right? Because, for example, Tomb Raider 2013, when they ported it to the Xbox One, they called it a definitive edition, which I think
it's a correct term for that.
It's a correct term. Because, I mean, when the game came out on PC, you could already have the definitive edition, right? It's just if you were playing on PS2 or 360, you had basically medium graphics from the PC version, So they didn't actually remaster anything. They just released it on newer consoles and were like, yeah, you have better graphics, but it's not a remaster, so they didn't call it that.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have other games like Last of Us, right? Last of Us came out on PS3, and a year later they re-released it on PS4 and called it a remaster. Now, don't get me wrong, they actually remastered the whole game. Everything looks a lot better, it's beautiful. But, I mean, why not have just waited a year and fucking release it on PS4 entirely as a launch title or something? The only reason I can really see is fucking more money, right? You buy it on PS3, and then you play it, and then you buy a PS4, like, oh, they remastered it a year later, and then you buy it again.
Yeah, you buy it again, because it's actually a great game.
Yeah.
So you want to play it again, like, with better graphics and stuff. So
there's so many games I've bought more than once.
Yeah.
And, like, Dead Island, for example, is another example of this. They did the definitive collection, right? So, Dead Island 1 and Riptide, I bought the first one at least 3 times. One on 360. One on Xbox One, and one on PC. Like,
you played it on PC?
A little bit. But yeah, no, it's like, I like Dead Island. I was like, I wanted it to be able to play on newer consoles. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool that they did that. But At the same time, it's really not the best remaster out there. I mean, it looks better, but it's still 30 FPS on Xbox One, which is pretty bad. I mean, I played yesterday to get some footage actually, and I could notice the 30 FPS. I wasn't like, I don't know, I had difficulty even looking around and stuff because I'm so used to 60 FPS with everything nowadays.
Oh yeah.
That it's hard to go back and have a lower performance game, especially when it's supposed to be an enhanced version of the old game. Like if I wanted 30 FPS, I'd go play on the fucking 360, you know. This is supposed to be the definitive fucking edition of the game. So I think next time I'll just play on PC. Fuck it.
I'm never gonna play the old version of Borderlands 1 again. It's awful. I don't like the fact that they don't have an FOV slider. It's just it did not age well.
That's another thing. A lot of people prefer the original games rather than the remasters. Like, for example, for me, I probably wouldn't go back and play the old Halos now that they're on MCC. Like, if I'm gonna buy Last of Us, I'm gonna get the remastered edition, of course. You know, if you have the console, of course. But games like Spyro, I would probably still go back and play the originals. Just because I feel they're not all that outdated, they don't look that bad, and they're still playable, right? Whereas Crash Bandicoot, fuck that, I'm not gonna go play the originals of this.
Oh god, no.
The controls are fucking terrible.
Please,
I think
no.
it's a case-to-case scenario of like actually going back to the originals. But like, yeah, Borderlands 1, same thing. I probably wouldn't even go back to the first games.
I wouldn't even attempt to.
No, exactly.
It's that much better than the original.
And you know, something else about Dead Island that I want to mention is part of the reason I got the Xbox One version as well was because I knew there wouldn't be as much hackers as the old gen games, you know? Because if you ever played Dead Island on 360 or PS3, you know there's like hackers everywhere that are just gonna join your game and destroy everything and duplicate a million guns and shit that one shot. It's just not fun for me. It ruins the experience, and I don't let my lobby open because of that. Whereas on the Xbox One, it has a much better security system for hackers, so I can actually open up my lobby, make some friends, and have fun with strangers without having the fear of people just fucking destroying my game, you know?
Yeah, fun fact, Borderlands 1, I know we're talking about a lot about Dead Island and Borderlands 1 here, but it's like, Borderlands 1, it didn't actually prevent you from bringing over modded weapons from your original characters.
Oh, it didn't?
Same thing with Borderlands 2, if you had any, but Borderlands 2 is a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
But no, I have modded characters in the Xbox One version of the game.
See, that's why I wasn't all that happy when they said you could import characters, because I knew that would be an issue.
But I get why they did it, though.
Yeah, because some people don't want to restart everything. I get that.
Unless you're me, and I'm already playing through again as another Lilith on PC.
Exactly. For me, I don't care. Like, usually when I go back to a game, I restart a new game, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Another example of a game that is not really considered a remaster, but more like a re-release, I think, is GTA 5. That game got re-released like twice, right? We had it on 360.
I don't think it was a remaster at all. I'm pretty sure they just re-released it for the Xbox One at 60 FPS.
They changed some graphics, definitely. It looks a lot better. But I wouldn't call it a remaster, so to speak.
No.
I'd rather call the 360 version a downgrade of this, which is the main game, right?
And then the PC version is a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
It looks so much better.
But yeah, so for GTA 5, for example, you know, how many times did you buy GTA 5, Trombone? I'm just curious.
I have it on 360, I have it on One, and I have it on PC, so 3 times.
Yeah, that's the 3 release they had. Because the thing is, they stopped doing updates for the 360, so it was like, alright, I'll get it on Xbox One, and then you're like, they released it on PC, I guess I'll get it on PC, you know?
It's like Destiny, because Destiny actually had Destiny 1 had 2 releases. There was a Destiny 1 on Xbox 360 and PS3, and then there was Destiny... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was right. And Destiny on Xbox One and PS4. I'm talking about just the first game, not the second game.
Yeah, they didn't have the last DLC.
After Taken King, you had to upgrade to next gen to play.
I remember that.
And it's like, you can't even port your characters over. So it's like, what's the point of playing on 360 then?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I remember I had the 360 version of Destiny, and I didn't buy the DLCs, but just the fact that I had to rebuy the game entirely with Season Pass on Xbox One,
Yeah.
it's not like they would give it out for free or just like you had to rebuy the whole thing $100 again for the same
Don't
fucking
worry.
content.
Now you can get it pretty easily. Now you can get it pretty cheap.
Yeah, but back then, it's like if you wanted to get the new DLC, you had to rebuy everything, restart everything, like you never played the game before. And that was a really shitty move.
Oh yeah.
But
I don't think it was entirely Bungie's fault as well.
No, it was definitely an Activision move.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Something else Activision has done, not only with Destiny, but you guys might have heard this, but the recent remake of Crash Team Racing, I don't know if you guys heard about this a little bit on YouTube or whatever, but
Not really.
they released a remaster, or I guess remake of Crash Team Racing, which is a PS1 game 20 years old from now, right? And
Jeez.
in that remake, they decided to add microtransaction.
Yeah.
Because there's an online mode, you know, which didn't have in the original, so it's like it's a reimagined version of it. Do you think microtransactions are okay for this though? Like it's new content, don't get me wrong. It's not something that was in the original. They're not making you pay for something that was there 20 years ago, but still, like
It depends on what it is. If it's like if the microtransactions are stuff to get you like that are pay to win stuff, then fuck you. That's not okay. But if it's cosmetics, why not?
Well, I think you can buy carts, which are faster, but I'm not entirely sure about that. It might just be cosmetics. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and there's also like new characters also I think you can buy.
Yeah.
That's
Or
so
from the
stupid.
franchise, and I don't think like the character you choose actually changes anything in the race.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, on that front, it's just cosmetics.
See, the problem I have with this is like, of course, the game is not $80. It's not like a full price game that is like really, really expensive or anything. But just the fact that there is like some kind of mobile game shop bullshit in a remaster is just beyond me at this point. It's like we talked a little bit about microtransactions in the other episode with Fortnite and stuff, and how it's free and how it's not a big deal, right? Whereas for this, I mean, not only is it a game that you actually have to pay like $50 Canadian to get, but on top of that, if you want to get new characters or new shit, they added on top of that, you need to pay more, like $10 for a character. Like, what the fuck is this? It's a remaster. It's not even like, you know, I think I'll never agree with microtransaction in a paid game, right?
Yeah.
But in a 20 years old game, it's even worse. It's like you're not only are you playing with people's nostalgia and shit, it's manipulation, totally.
You're just blocking content that you could add to the game for free, and then you just decide, oh yeah, we want money for this content that we should have added for free anyway.
Why not just add the new content as like, oh, we added this for the remake, kind of thing, right? There's a couple new cards you can get. And the thing is, the microtransactions weren't there at launch, of course, like any other Activision game, like World War II, Black Ops 4. You can buy microtransactions at launch, but then later after that, they were like, okay, now that Christmas went by and stuff, okay, let's put on microtransactions in the game. Now that all the reviews are out and everyone said the game was amazing and everything, okay, now we can make people pay more, because then nobody will complain.
Yeah, and that's such a scummy thing to do. I don't agree with that at all, and I'm sure a lot of people don't do.
Because you watch a review a couple of days after the game came out, you're like, oh, that looks fucking amazing. You buy it 2 months later, you're like, hey, he didn't mention those shitty ass microtransactions in the review.
Yeah, it's because they weren't there.
They weren't there. Exactly. Yeah. So a lot of reviewers have to re-review the game, or at least mention it somewhere. That, oh hey, microtransactions are in the fucking game, so, you know, it's a really shitty behavior that Activision's been doing a lot. I'm not so sure about other companies, like, you know, Bethesda had microtransaction at launch with Fallout 76. It's not like they didn't shy away from it, they just shoved it in your face, right? Activision is being sneaky, like it knows that people don't like this shit.
They're trying to milk something that EA got in trouble for it. For
EA got a
but
lot
the
of
thing is,
shit for that.
there was a lot of pay-to-win content in there. But the thing is, I think everyone was so focused on EA, they forgot to look at Activision and see how freaking pay-to-win they can be sometimes with zombies. And I don't like considering that pay-to-win content, the gobblegums, the elixirs and such. But I consider it, you're paying to get an advantage.
The thing about EA is, like, with Battlefront 2, what if they would have actually not had microtransaction at launch? And then they added it 2 months later. Do you think there would have been such a big backlash on the game?
It depends if it was pay-to-win content that they added. I think that what's more important is there was a lot of pay-to-win content in their loop in the microtransactions at the time.
Yeah, but
if you
release it, if you release it after all the reviews and everyone played it and not as much players are there, then there's not as much backlash on the thing, right?
Yes, true.
Which is what Activision probably looked at EA. They were like, okay, what can we do so that doesn't happen to us, right? They were like, okay, let's not put loot boxes right at launch, because then people were gonna freak out.
Yeah, and every single time we release a new Call of Duty game, we're gonna be like, in every interview, in every single press thing, we're gonna say, yeah, no, we don't plan to add any microtransactions to the game. And if we ever do, it's only going to be cosmetics.
They say that every single year, and it's a lie. Every single time
they say that, and it's not true.
I think the worst culprit in Activision, I'm not going to say Destiny 2, because that's actually all cosmetics. But I think the worst culprit, the worst thing that they've done thus far was, and this go back to the topic of remasters, Modern Warfare Remastered, Call of Duty 4 Remastered.
Yes.
And when it first launched, there were no microtransactions. It didn't look like there was going to be any. But then I come back a couple months later, I'm like, I have to pay for this now, I have to pay for that now, there's loot boxes, and like, what's the point? This isn't a remaster, this is, hey, you're just re-releasing the game so you can make more money off of some people's stupidity to buy loot crates to try and get advantage over people when it really doesn't matter.
So, first of all, I want to mention, for those of you who don't know, that Modern Warfare Remastered, you couldn't buy individually when it first came out. Yeah. For the first 6 months of the game's life cycle, you had to buy Infinite Warfare and have it as a bundle with Modern Warfare, which was like $90-$100, right? Because you have both games. I didn't. And so finally they released it individually, but by the time they do that, most people already have the game, and most people already caved in and bought the fucking awful game that came with it. And now that it's individually, now the loot boxes are in. So if you didn't buy the stupid-ass bundle, then you're stuck with loot boxes right at the start. Like, I bought the game individually when it came out, and I had to deal with all these supply drops bullshit, really, that I don't even understand why it's in the remaster. Like,
it should be there.
I mentioned Crash earlier, but yeah, no, definitely Call of Duty Remastered is actually a lot worse, because there's actual guns in there you can unlock that are really OP, and they're locked away. They're new weapons. They're not old remastered weapons either. So no, definitely it's fucking stupid. They also released a DLC pack for Modern Warfare Remastered. I don't know if you knew about that.
It was Remastered DLC 1.
Yeah. So
I understand it, but what it was priced at,
it was $20, wasn't it? 15
around there, and it should have been. I honestly think it should have been like $5.
Yeah, because here's the thing:
it's remastered.
They released DLC 1. That's keep in mind, buying a remaster of a game from 10 years ago, I think it's fine if you add all the DLCs and stuff. Most remasters will include all the DLCs and all the content and put it into a complete edition, right?
Oh, yeah, Borderlands 1.
Yeah, for example. Now, Modern Warfare Remastered, they didn't do that. Nah, they didn't do that at all. They took the first DLC, not even all of them, just the first DLC. They were like, okay, let's re-release the same fucking DLC we released 10 years ago and make it double the price.
Oh yeah.
It's $20. The original DLC is 10. What the fuck? Where did we go wrong?
and you know what? The worst thing about that is people bought it.
Yeah, I bought it because it was on sale, half price. And when I bought the game, I was like, fuck it, I'll get the DLC with it.
Yeah, sure.
The problem with that is, like every single Call of Duty game, is it divides the community entirely. Because people who don't have the DLC can't play with you.
Yep.
So, if you ever can't find any matches and you wonder why, uninstall the DLC, you're gonna find matches. but you're never gonna pay. You're never gonna be able to play the DLC you bought.
For freaking double the price of a 10-year-old content.
Yep.
Activision has to get their shit together, or they're gonna go plummeting soon.
Well, talking about Modern Warfare, I think the new reboot is a step in the right direction for them. At least it
Yes.
seems like it.
It is.
It seems like it, but it's
Yeah.
It
Activision.
seems like it. And I mind you, I'm gonna get it at launch, but I'm gonna pay probably just $60. I don't care for the other editions. You don't get a season pass.
There's
Yeah,
no
there's
season pass.
cosmetics.
I think you can buy like not specialists, but characters. But who
Yeah,
cares?
I don't care.
Yeah, at that point, it's probably just gonna be cosmetics.
They don't have powers like BO4 or anything, so it's not like
Thank God.
yeah, no.
BL4 is a different topic entirely.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, you can go look up how the attachment and like modification of the weapons work for the new Modern Warfare game.
They showed everything.
Yeah, well, the way it works, what I'm thinking is there's already so many different attachments you can put on your weapons. What I'm thinking is probably if the attachments would be possibly in loot crates, like theoretically.
They're gonna be. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
they're definitely gonna be. But what I'm thinking
gonna
is
be an issue.
they're probably not gonna put like new ones in there. What I'm thinking is they're probably gonna put the ones that are already there, and if you haven't unlocked it by playing the game, you can like unlock it faster.
Or just change the color on Photoshop. Call it a new item.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
Like-
yeah,
One
like
of
The
the
amount of
companies
filler
just don't worry, I
garbage
got
we're
you.
gonna get.
yeah, just cosmetic modifications. But the way the weapons work and stuff, I mean, it's Activision. They're probably gonna find a way to make it like so you can buy actual stuff in the freaking microtransactions.
Mhm.
But at least the way it seems, I feel like it's probably gonna be less worse than how it is right now with BO4 and World War II and stuff.
Black Ops 4 did get a lot of backlash.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, there's no season pass, and I've been saying this ever since we know about that.
Yeah.
That's scary. It's really scary because they're gonna put a shit ton of microtransactions, and having all these attachments is great. It's great to be able to attach all your weapons and stuff with so many. I think it's like 60 attachments at launch, right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing, but at the same time, they're gonna exploit the shit out of that system later on.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's gonna be great at the release to have so many options, but then new weapons are gonna come out. You're gonna unlock new attachments for those new weapons, and then new attachments
hate
for
the
new
fact-
attachments, and then you're gonna get fucking. It doesn't stop. It never stops. There's so many filler garbage that they're gonna add to this game,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna add DLC weapons. It's gonna be basically impossible to get them. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not gonna be that annoyed by it. I think this year because I didn't pay $130 with a season pass this time.
Yeah.
Like I bought the game $80 or $60 for US viewers. So it's like I wouldn't feel as bad with all these microtransactions because I'm not personally gonna buy any of them. Like I don't buy microtransactions. I don't get into this shit.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you sometimes do.
$20
I know
games.
that. But yeah, no. So for me, it's not gonna be that big of an issue. But if it's really like the game is not fun because you don't have like this new weapon or whatever, and it's basically impossible to get unless you cave in and pay, it's gonna be really bad for people who don't pay, and
Oh,
most
yeah.
people aren't gonna pay.
Yeah.
So who are you pleasing with this new content at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, and another thing too about the fact that there's no season pass. I don't know this because I never actually played it, but the original Modern Warfare, did it have a season pass?
No.
It did not have a season pass. It did have DLC packs though.
Yeah,
I
there's
think it had
DLC
4 of
packs.
them. Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is they're probably gonna do that with a new one. There's
No,
probably-
they did say the DLCs are going to be free.
They said that? Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know they said that.
They were
'cause-
quoted on saying every new content is going to be entirely free, and they're not going to divide the community this year. So that's on
Oh, okay.
record. Now,
Cool.
we also know that every single year they say that cosmetics only items are going to be in the game.
Yeah.
So, who knows if that's even true?
And another thing
Yeah.
too is if they add guns through the if they were to put like DLC guns that you can only have if you buy the DLC, like how would that even work? Because if someone in your multiplayer game has a DLC, and you don't. Like, if they die, they're gonna drop their gun. But at the same time, I mean, if it's like that, then they're just not gonna match people who have a DLC and people who don't. But it's gonna divide people. Like, and there's also the fact that since Call of Duty is exclusive for a week on PS4, because now the game is supposed to be completely cross-platform, right?
Yeah.
But if new content is released a week earlier on PS4, then like every time new content is out, there's like the cross-platform is gonna like kind of delete itself.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, because if they want to release it on PS4 first, then the people on Xbox and PC don't have the stuff that PS4 have.
But let's say, because if we look at Black Ops 4, we know that it's not only the maps and stuff that come out a week earlier. It's the guns, it's the events, everything is a week behind.
Everything.
So how's that gonna work with Modern Warfare if it's cross-platform? Like, if a new weapon comes out in the loot boxes, and someone on PS4 gets it, he won't be able to play with Xbox or PC players, because then they could just grab his gun, like Jesser said earlier.
Well,
and how would he grab his gun if it's not in his game?
Here's my counter argument to that. If you guys remember, Black Ops 2, there was one new gun added to Black Ops 2 during, I think it was the first DLC.
Yeah, the Peacekeeper in the first DLC.
Yeah, the Peacekeeper was added to the game. However, yes, you can technically say, oh, but they already had files for it. They just didn't finish it. That is very true. But the thing is, if you were to play without DLC, you can still use the Peacekeeper. And if you die, people who don't have DLC, they can still use the Peacekeeper. They just have to pick it up from your dead body.
But the thing is, BO2 wasn't cross-platform. Like, the Peacekeeper came out a month earlier on Xbox, but what if they would have been able to play with PS3 players? Could PS3 players grab the Peacekeeper a month before release?
They would probably put the files for the Peacekeeper in the PS3 game if it was cross-platform.
But then why not just fucking release it on every platform at this point? If you can even use it.
Exclusivity.
That's so dumb. I don't know how they're gonna handle this. We'll see. But it seems very stupid right now.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see for that.
So something else I want to put a little discussion on here that I think Trombone is going to be very happy to finally talk about. Walking Dead. I didn't even have to say it. You were waiting the whole fucking time. All right.
Oh yes, I was.
So there's this new there's this new definitive collection or whatever it's called that's coming out for Telltale's The Walking Dead. If you guys don't know, it's a story-driven game, you know, which has I think 5 seasons in total with Michonne.
Yeah, but I don't count that because it doesn't matter towards the actual.
I know. But basically, they're putting all these games together, remastering them entirely with the new engine of the final season, and re-releasing it for what, the 4th time?
Hold on, let me see. Let me count. There was the Xbox 360 version. I'm just going off the 360 version. I'm counting that and the PS3 version.
Yeah.
There was that version, and then they ported it to Xbox One and PS4
as backward compatibility.
Yes.
As well.
No, and that too, but I'm going to count.
But then they actually ported it, yes, afterwards. They did.
And then they released the Telltale Collection.
Yep.
Which was
the 4th time.
I'm sorry. The Telltale Games The Walking Dead Collection, which was The Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 got the engine of The Walking Dead, The New Frontier.
Which is Season 3, yeah.
Yeah. And then now this is their 4th time releasing it with the Season 4 engine, which I don't think is all that great, but that's just me.
See, it looks a lot better. I've seen the trailer. It's an actual remaster. Yeah. They actually remade everything with the new engine. And you can tell that it's a new engine. Like, everything looks a lot more crispy and spicy.
Yeah.
And you play through it.
I like what they did with the background. I'm sorry, but I hate the fact that it's really kind of bland.
I don't know. I didn't see that much gameplay of it, to be honest.
Well, my problem Season 4, it's like, I didn't really like what they did with the background in Season 4. That was my issue a lot.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, like, the collection, my problem is that they released Telltale Collection last year, which is a remaster of the 1st season, the 2nd season, the 3rd season all together, right?
It was $60 if I'm correct, too.
Yeah, and now, a year later, they're remastering the old fucking games. Like, I get it, it's a new engine again, but it is a remaster of a remaster, right?
And it is a new company.
It is a new company. It is new devs and a new engine, but it's a remaster of a remaster.
Not like a new company, but
at the end of the day.
Yep.
And like, am I gonna buy it again? It's not even a game that you can really replay all that much either. Like, you play it once, and I mean, it's like you're not gonna watch the same movie 5 times because they remade it.
I mean,
yeah,
like they say like your choices like change the game, but it doesn't. It changes some stuff, but I mean
subtle things.
Yeah, subtle things, but I mean the entirety of the story is still the same thing.
And if you already know all the outcomes too, because you've played it 3 times at this point.
Yeah.
You've already tried every fucking different story, so why even bother getting it again, right?
Hey, so Lollipop, when you finished episode 4, how disappointed were you?
I actually finished episode 4. We talked about it earlier, how we had those guilty games we never finished.
Oh, yeah.
I finished it yesterday, before this episode.
How disappointed were you?
A little bit disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed.
I was extremely.
I just want to mention that I have not played any of those games.
Okay. We won't spoil anything.
Yeah,
don't worry
if we
about
can
it.
try to, like, not spoil big stuff.
No, I won't spoil for the audience either. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, I won't either. But I was personally, I was on one side, and that one side should have happened, but someone decided they weren't going to do it because they were going to pussy out, and
yeah,
made a mistake.
That's all we're gonna say.
And then there was an explanation from some guy of what he thinks happened, and I'm like, no. I'm sorry, but no, it doesn't make sense.
Devs actually came out on Twitter and explained exactly how it happened, which makes a lot of sense, but I still don't agree with it. I still don't agree with it. I hated that they did that. But yeah, let's move on from spoilers territory. Let's not say too much. But yeah, no, I was a little bit disappointed. At the same time, I don't think it was the worst ending they could have ever put out.
I think it was, but that's just.
But at the same time, it's like, I feel like it's not an ending. There could be another season, honestly. It's called the final season, but now that there's a new studio and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if they release another fucking season. And then remaster the whole thing again.
Some people are going to be... I think some people are going to be on the side of it should be the last season. But you got to remember, that wasn't Skybound. That was Telltale.
Exactly, it was Telltale.
Not Skybound.
Now that Skybound has the licenses, they might do something. Mm-hmm.
I think they will, or they'll go They'll go different story entirely, which would be cool. But they can't start a different story I don't think it's right to start a different story in the middle of the Walker situation.
I'm gonna jump back into spoilers a little bit. I'm not spoiling anything, but skip a minute ahead if you really don't want to hear anything about it. I'm just gonna say, I think they changed the original ending that Telltale had planned, probably because they're gonna do another season. That's probably why they decided to go this way. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's how it feels to me.
Since this isn't really a spoiler, if any of you are on #StillNotBitten, I hate you. I'm sorry. #StillNotBitten is the worst hashtag I have seen. And there's a reason why. I'm not gonna say why though.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's move on for that before we actually spoil shit for the audience. But yeah, that's all I got to say. So at the end of
season 1...
Let's not spoil anything Walking Dead related. Especially not the end of season 1. Oh god, that would be a terrible spoil.
Great, though. That was the best season of all time.
But anyways, so you said you weren't that hyped for the remaster of the remaster?
I don't know. I want to get it. I want to see how it... I want to play it again. Because it's going to be new.
That's the thing. If I want to play it again, I want to play the new version, right? Instead of going back to the old laggy, bad-looking one.
I want to see what's different. I want to see what they've done with it, and how they made it better.
I think
I will cave in.
For me, I don't have it on PC. I have the whole thing on Xbox. And for those of you who don't know, the collection came as a pre-order bonus with Final Season, so I didn't actually buy the collection, I just got it with the pre-order, which I think was a really great deal, actually, for people who never played the other ones. For like $20, you had the whole thing, right?
That was an amazing deal.
It was an amazing deal, but if it's half price on PC at some point, or like really low, and I want to play on PC for whatever reason to have the most beautiful graphics I can get for this whole collection, I might buy the new remaster, but I might just be in 2 years when I feel like playing the game, right? I'm not gonna buy it at release.
I'll probably buy it at release because I love the series of games. Those games are some of my favorite games of all time, so I will play them again.
The thing is, I got the collection. I didn't even finish season 1 yet.
I finished season 1. I'm on season 2.
The thing is like I've played those games so many times already, right?
Oh yeah.
So
I also skipped 400 Days, by the way. Screw that DLC. That was not a great DLC.
I thought it was alright. I was a bit disappointed they didn't go all the way like they said they would with season 2. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't want to say anything about it, but it's just
actually
very...
there was an Easter egg in episode 4. I don't know if you noticed. There was a character from 400 Days in the last episode.
There are multiple characters from 400 Days.
Oh, well, I noticed one of them, at least. I just thought I'd mention that.
Are you talking about season 1?
No, I mean episode 4, final season.
There's an Easter egg, because I think they had a different planned route.
No, it's the same character from 400 Days.
In episode 4, who was it?
I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's in the flashback. That's where you see him.
Can you DM me? I need to know.
Yeah, well, I don't remember his name, but
What? Oh, who was it? I don't remember. Wait, we're talking about season 2, not season 3.
What do you not understand in episode 4 of the final season? Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. Let's get back to this.
Alright, sorry, I had to DM Trombone and cut this out so you guys don't get spoiled because he really wanted to know. Anyways, we're back here.
I still need to figure it out.
So yeah, there's that Easter egg that I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, we're already at the 1 hour mark. What?
Already? Damn.
Already. Alright. So let's go into Q&A time, boys. Alright, this week we had a couple people messaging us. Actually, someone messaged us 5 minutes before we started, and I was like, oh god. Cool. We have another answer. So let's start with this one. Alexi, once again, who says... oh yeah, I forgot to even say the fucking question. Man, that's such a bad host. Okay. Let's start with what was the question?
Don't worry,
before we answer it. Episode 3, guys. Way to add a 0 to that, and maybe we'll be good at this thing. All right, the question. So, I asked the community, what game would you like to see remastered, /remade, /rebooted, and why? And I also mentioned you can choose a game that's already been re-released. But yeah, so Alexi answered. He said, honestly, a Minecraft remaster would be cool, with new shaders, achievements, and adding more systems like food variation as a survival game, but in Minecraft. Or a remake of Nier Automata with a completely different story, mostly on the mid-end story. Okay, let's start with Minecraft. What do you guys think about a Minecraft remaster?
No, because Minecraft, and it's not really a finished game yet. They're still adding stuff to the game, and they're still updating it and everything.
But I mean,
honestly, they could add hardcore mode.
Aren't there actually rumors that they're making an actual Minecraft 2?
I mean, you can play Minecraft in 4K on your Xbox One.
Oh, if you guys haven't seen, there was a tech demo of RTX Minecraft with the new RTX NVIDIA's RTX cards.
I don't know about a remaster of Minecraft. I mean, there's so many mods you can already use to get beautiful graphics, right?
Oh yeah,
realistic stuff. They're
not mods; they're just texture packs.
Yeah, but you can add mods to make it the fucking plants move and stuff.
Yeah.
The lighting is amazing and everything. It's really realistic, really immersive.
Yeah, even though it's freaking cubes, but whatever.
Yeah, I feel like mods already do a good job of remastering the game as a whole. I personally wouldn't buy Minecraft Remastered if it came out.
Nor would I.
A lot of people would, though.
Yeah.
I already played it enough.
A lot of people would.
Because it's Minecraft, and for some reason we're in 2019, and Minecraft is getting a second.
Yeah, exactly. It's reviving again, so maybe they'll re-release something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's why I actually heard somewhere that there were rumors that they're actually making a second Minecraft.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Alright. Did any of you ever play Nier Automata?
Nope.
I haven't.
Okay, I played a little bit of it. Alex actually bought it for me to play on stream. Thank you again, Alexia. I really appreciate that. Um, I think the graphics for Nier look pretty good as it is. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit outdated, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it was all that outdated. I don't know. I can see why, as a fan of the game, you would want a remaster of it. And if the new generation of console comes out, definitely I would like for it to be on it, right? Um, but I don't know. As someone who I didn't complete the game yet or anything, so someone who just played it, I don't feel like it really needs a graphic overhaul. Um, but yeah, no, I think it would be cool to have a port to the next generation, definitely. All right. So that was our first answer. The second answer is coming from Happy Swedish Guy, who says he's got actually multiple answers. I don't know how I'm gonna do that on the editing, but yeah. Basically, he's saying he would like to see a Fable prequel.
Oh.
Which I've mentioned before that I'm interested in that. I mean, for me, I'd rather have a Fable reboot. Or because we have Fable Anniversary, but that's trash. Let's be honest. And we haven't had a Fable game ever since, well, a main series Fable game ever since 2010, which was almost 10 years ago. So for them to reboot the franchise entirely with a new take on the first Fable, I think would be the best decision they can make. Now, a Fable prequel could also be interesting, because there's a lot of backstory to the first game they never actually touched on in the game. There's so many lore and interesting stuff you can check on the wikis and everything that just never made it into the final game, and they never mention even in Fable 2 or 3, right? So, I mean, there's a really interesting story with Jack of Blades, which is the main villain, and he wasn't always a villain, though. He used to be the good guy, and like, he turned into a bad guy, and there's a whole story surrounding that is really, really interesting. And if they're gonna make a prequel where you play as Jack, for example, I think that would be fucking great. Now, my dream would be they make a reboot of the first game, right, with online gameplay, which would be amazing. Like, not an MMO, but like...
Are you gonna force me to play it?
Oh, I will if it comes out, trust me. I'll buy it for you, fuck it. But as a DLC, you have the prequel as well on the side. I think that would be amazing if you have both, right? I don't know, but that's just me. I'm a huge Fable fan, and I really want them to release a new game. A lot of people, there's a lot of rumors saying they're making Fable 4, but there were a lot of rumors saying Modern Warfare 4 was going to come out, and it's a reboot. So
we never know.
We never know. Might be a reboot. I think that would be great.
Price.
I don't see them continuing the Fable story after Fable 3. I don't know, after 10 years of not doing anything, why would they even continue on that story that most people haven't played? Right?
I wanted to say something, but it's really contradictory. So I'm not going to say it right now. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of what it was. What game was it that they stopped the story and then continued it again? So I know there is a game series that has technically done it.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yes, that's one actually. That wasn't the one I was thinking of, but they stopped for a long time and then they released a new one.
Yeah.
What was it, Kingdom Hearts 3? I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
At the same time, like, they haven't made a game, like a main game like 1, 2, 3 for a long time, but if you look at the timeline and all the games that are out, there's actually a lot of Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, it didn't stop. Like, Fable, the whole franchise been dead ever since, what, 2013 maybe, with the Kinect game?
Came out, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah, they did make the Kinect game, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, the whole studio who was making the game got shut down, and now they're making an indie game called Concede, which is pretty cool. They tweet a lot of pre-alpha stuff from Fable 1 that is really interesting on their Twitter if you want to follow them. It's really cool if you're a Fable fan. But yeah, no, definitely for me, I think Fable would be the most beautiful remaster, reboot, remake they could ever do. And I'm aware Fable Anniversary is a thing, but that was 5 years ago, and it was awful. So please, Microsoft, revive Fable. Even if it's not a remaster, do Fable 4. Just do it. Great game. So, the third Q&A person that answered is, Hey, what's his name again, Trombone? You want to say it?
It's Timothy Hansen's unrelated son.
Oh.
Oh, what?
What? Well, who is that? I wonder who is behind this
I don't know.
account.
It's like I know him in real life. Holy shit.
Why does he have the same profile picture as you? It's kind of weird.
I don't know. It's like last week. The guy said the same thing as me again.
Do you think it's the same guy who made the Totally Not Trombone account?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know.
Man, I wonder
It
who
could
the
be
fuck that
different.
is. He's a really huge fan of the show.
It's like he's near us right now.
It's like he's on the podcast right now, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, he's listening and not saying anything.
Shout out to Timothy Hansen's unrelated son. I don't even know who Timothy Hansen is.
Yeah, but we know who his his unrelated son is. So.
Wait, what? He's unrelated, but it's his son?
Yeah.
What?
It's a really sad story. We're not gonna get into it right now.
Yeah,
but...
no, let's just get to the question.
All right, so the answer that Timothy, the unrelated son, gave us is, I would like to see Tiger Woods Golf 2008 remastered and rebooted with 4K ultra graphics, gore and violence and relationship gameplay. Yeah, violence and relationship is a really good mix for a remaster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially golf game.
Especially
I think,
golf game.
yeah, I think that would actually be a good idea.
Like you
The
have
main-
your
the main
wife coming
character
on
is
the court
Tiger
being like,
Woods.
"Stop playing golf, you old bastard," and then you just beat her up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you beat her up with a club and
The main
like
character is
then you
Tiger
just,
Woods.
God
then
damn,
you
what
just
a...
hit the bloody golf ball.
Jeez, that would be one hell of a controversial game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
my god. 2008 golf game. Did you guys ever play golf games?
Yeah, I do, actually.
You do?
Wow.
Yeah. There haven't really been recent golf games that I'm actually really into, because I don't play like this simulator type of golf games, like
Mhm.
Tiger Woods stuff and PGA stuff.
You play like golf on the Wii or
I mean,
something.
no, golf on the Wii is actually trash.
Golf
What I
with your
used to
friends.
play was the Hot Shot Golf series on the PlayStation,
Okay.
which is a pretty old series of golf games, which they're kind of like a little bit more on the casual side, but once you get into it and you get into the technicality of the stuff, it's actually really precise and an awesome like golf simulator game. But yeah, since they haven't released a new game in a long time, and the servers for both the PS3 games are down.
Ah, that sucks.
The only golf game I've actually been playing is Golf Clash connected on Facebook on my cell phone,
Oh god.
which is really bad, but it's still golf, so I don't know why I still play it.
Trumbull mentioned golf with friends. I've heard about
Golf
that.
with
Oh
your
yeah,
friends.
that mini golf game.
It is really, really good. If you ever have friends, it is really, really fun.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, it's called golf with friends. I hope you have friends if you're gonna play it.
Yeah.
It's really fun to play though with a lot of friends. It's
I've
just
seen though that Golf It is actually like more community driven. There's more custom maps on that one.
You
Yeah.
know, I
The
haven't
Steam
looked
Workshop
into it
is a lot of
Yeah.
doing a lot of things for it. I'd imagine. A lot of people try to convince me to get it, but I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's a golf game. I mean, when you get in a party and you just mess around
Yeah.
with it, it's pretty fun.
No, I'm sure it would be fun, but like, I bought Tabletop Simulator for the exact same reason. I played it once or twice.
Oh
I
yeah.
have Tabletop
So
Simulator.
I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm not
Right.
gonna buy that for one time.
I bought Tabletop Simulator to play Dungeons and Dragons online with friends because I've never played D&D before and we never did it.
Dude,
Yeah.
we should totally do that. I never played it either, and I always wanted to try it out.
I have
Jezzer-
a friend.
Jezzer
Like,
played
I have
it,
a
right?
friend that I can
I've-
talk to.
I've played one game of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I thought you'd played more than that. Okay.
I've played one game, and I mean, I kind of have a little bit of experience, but I don't think I could be like a dungeon master.
Alright,
have a-
Jezzer is our Dungeon Master confirmed. Next episode, we're gonna be playing Dungeon
Whoa.
Dragons.
Whoa.
I have a friend that wanted to start an online group, like an online game of it, and he'd be the dungeon master. So I could always talk to him again about it and see if anything happens.
Sure.
If you ever want to do that. But back on topic.
Yeah, back to
Questions.
golf. I wanted
Oh, that's
to mention the only really golf game, apart from like this shitty PS1 demo that was on my demo disc back 20 years ago. Probably GTA 5. GTA 5 has a really cool golf minigame in it. I don't know if you guys ever played it.
Yeah.
You can actually play online and compete with your friends. It's actually a lot of fun. Like, GTA 5 has a lot of cool activities like that. It has tennis and stuff, but golf is pretty fun too. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd say golf is probably one of the best ones.
And it's a really good simulator. Like, it could be a game of its own, I believe. But it's just a minigame, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a lot of fun. If you guys ever are bored on GTA 5, you know what to do, and you never tried out golf, I'd recommend it. Or tennis. It's actually a lot of fun. Try it out. It's fun, especially online.
I'm bored of you. Ha, nerd.
Oh, wow.
God. All right.
Jeez, that hurts.
Well, that's all the answers we had for this week. So make sure that next week you actually answer on the Discord server, so you can be featured on the episode. So join the server, check out the question, answer. You'll be featured. It's awesome. It's amazing. And yeah,
Wait, hold up.
do it.
We never answered the question ourselves.
Yeah, I was just about to say, how about you? And we usually do that first, but I kind of went on top of it this time. Whatever.
I'll start with it. What game would you like to see remastered, remade, rebooted, and why?
Yeah.
I don't know. What game would you like to see remastered, rebooted, and why?
Honestly, that's kind of a hard question.
He said, "I'll start. I have an answer."
Yeah, you know
5
what?
seconds
I'll start.
later, oh, that's really hard. I don't know.
Yeah, because I had a pretty good idea of it, but now that I'm really thinking about it, it's like, whoa. If I had to choose one game,
only one game that you can see remastered.
I know my answer.
honestly, it would probably be, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Never played Legend of Zelda.
Because they've remade it exactly like Ocarina of Time 3D. They made Majora's Mask 3D, which was the exact same thing. A shitty port with updated graphics like plastered on it with a couple animations changed.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it was a lazy port which was on a small console with like, I mean, it was a fine remake and they're not big games, so they make sense for a portable console. But at the same time, I really think both Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time could both benefit from like actual home console graphics, like
they
on the
deserve
Switch.
better.
Yeah.
know, they deserve a full-on remake.
Yeah, because I mean, sure, Majora's Mask is a little bit more like on the controversial, I'd say, side of things, and Ocarina of Time is like considered by most to be the best Zelda game ever made.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna get a bunch of backlash for what I'm about to say about
ahead.
Ocarina of Time, but I'll still say it because it's really what I think. Personally, I think Ocarina of Time is an awesome Zelda game. I just think that it gets all this praise just because it was the first Zelda game. It was like kind of a series definer. Like, even though personally, I think the series definer was actually A Link to the Past. But since like most like big Zelda games are 3D games now, Ocarina of Time was like kind of the first one, and a lot of people see it as like the holy grail of Zelda because it's so nostalgic and it was so awesome to be like, oh my god, it's in 3D now. Like I can look at the freaking ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, personally, I think it would be probably more Majora's Mask if I had to choose one of the two, because I preferred Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time. But either one of those two would be awesome on an actual home console.
But they are a follow-up story, right? Like Majora's Mask is the the sequel.
It's a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, so why not do both and put them in a bundle or something?
Yeah, that's exactly why they made both on the 3DS.
Yeah, exactly. They could do the same thing, but like with an actual like, maybe not on Switch. I don't know. I don't know. Breath of the Wild didn't have terrible graphics, right?
No, Breath of the... I mean, for a 720p screen...
Yeah.
Like, upscale to 1080 when you put it on your TV, like in a dock. It was, like, because of the way they made the graphics, like, with, like, this kind of... a little bit different cell shading than usual, but it's still cell shading. The way they made it, it looked really great.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually making a Breath of the Wild 2 also, like they confirmed that they're developing it. So yeah. And they're actually like from a couple of years now, they've actually been like remaking all those Zelda games. Like there's a Link Awakening 2 that is coming out soon.
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like a Game Boy remake as well.
Yeah, it was the
Game Boy
very
game.
first Zelda that was on portable. That
Yeah.
was on the Game Boy, and they're remaking it.
I think if they
Nice.
remaster Ocarina of Time, they're gonna make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I just hope if they ever do it, I really want to see a remade game. I don't want to see like freaking 64 engine just
Yeah,
plastered
no,
on
no,
the
no.
Switch with like awesome graphics.
Rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah, rebuild it with like an actual updated engine and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
We don't want a remaster of the remaster.
Yeah, no,
We
don't
want a
do that.
remake on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I would probably try that out if it was to come out. Yeah. All right. What about you, Tremone? You said you had your answer all figured out.
Oh yeah. So back then, when I was a wee little lad, I loved to this day even. I loved Elder Scrolls games just as much as I loved Halo. And if you can think of where this is going, I am not going to say Morrowind. I'm not going to say Daggerfall. I'm not going to say Arena. I would love to see Oblivion get like a remaster. Now, technically, you can say, "Oh, but Nick, Sky Oblivion, it's a thing." I am aware of that. Thank you very much. That is a port over to the Skyrim engine, though.
Yeah,
It's not a
mod, right?
remaster. It is a mod, and it's a port over to the Skyrim engine that brings Oblivion to Skyrim's engine.
Yeah.
I don't consider that a remaster. It's a port. It's not a remaster.
Yeah, it's like
But,
Fallout
yeah, sure,
3 on
they're-
the Fallout 4 engine. It's not like
They have to remake all the graphics and such, but it's not a remaster. It's a port.
Mhm.
And I understand. I love what they're doing. I'm gonna play it when it comes out, but I would love to see Bethesda take Oblivion and literally remaster it, make it like the. I know Elder Scrolls 6 is running the same engine, but make it look as good as the Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
Make it what they like. I want to know what Bethesda had in mind as well, because like they could do so much if they ever were to remaster it. I'm pretty sure one, it would sell a lot because Oblivion was an amazing game. It was fucking awesome for freaking Xbox 360 users and such because the interface, unlike Morrowind, it was more console. The interface was more console. It had a console mindset.
Yeah.
So PC, didn't really like it that much. But for me, I played on the Xbox 360 way back in the day. I played Oblivion there, and I spent hours in it, and it was so much fun. I would love to see a remaster of it or a remake, even where it's just better and new.
Mhm.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the
I don't like
Skyrim remaster? See?
I think I don't know what to think because all they did was they changed lighting.
Yeah.
They updated lighting. They added god rays. They also added a lot more floral, a lot more flowers, and a lot more decoration on the outside.
The
They
point I
didn't
want to
change
get
anything,
to
though.
is like if they remade or remastered more Oblivion with the same way they did Skyrim, would you be disappointed or happy they did?
I'd be disappointed. Mind you, I'd still buy it and play it, but I'd be a little disappointed.
All right. Well, so like, what do you actually imagine as a remaster? Like more than what Skyrim was?
Oh, way more.
Like a remake,
if I
more
were-
like is what you.
I would rather
prefer.
have a remake. I would love a remake of Oblivion, build it from the ground up, but like do what you wanted to do
Mm.
with Oblivion, and don't stray away from that. Because if you see what Sky Oblivion's doing, see if you know the lore of Elder Scrolls, Cyrodiil is supposed to be a very diverse region of Tamriel. It's
Yeah.
supposed to have parts from Hammerfell, Morrowind, Black Marsh, and such like that.
Yeah, because it's in the middle.
Yeah, so
Okay.
places like Anvil and Leowyn, they should be like the Anvil should represent sand and Hammerfell and such. Leowyn should represent Black Marsh, swampy areas and such. Jadenhall have a little bit more of a Morrowind vibe there. And
Yeah.
Vroom already has a Skyrim vibe, but still, it's like I think if they were to remake Oblivion, they would do that, and I think that's what I expect in a remake. I expect them to do like what they planned to do 13 years ago or 14 years ago at this point.
Would you like Bethesda to do it or another studio
Bethesda.
that they hire? You want Bethesda to
I-
do it after
Just because-
after Fallout 76 and stuff.
I'm just pushing that aside for now.
Yeah.
But I
okay.
think Bethesda would be great at doing it. I understand other people doing it. I understand the Sky Oblivion team, a bunch of enthusiasts who loved Elder Scrolls games and loved Oblivion and want to make it a better experience.
Yeah.
But I want Bethesda to do it as well.
I'm really skeptical about that though. Like, don't get me wrong, I like your idea, and if you want to get a Oblivion remastered, then yeah, sure, definitely. I'll just say
My
though,
opinion's right, yours is wrong.
like I already mentioned, I wasn't a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series, but I know that Todd Howard got interviewed, and they were asking him if they had plans to remaster Fallout 3, and he said he didn't have any plans for remastering anything really. So sorry to kill your hopes about that. The thing is, that doesn't mean they couldn't hire another studio like Obsidian did New Vegas, right? They could get them to do fucking.
Now, if that were the case, I wouldn't care.
I'd rather have that because I don't think Bethesda has the passion or anything to do so. It would probably be a shitty remaster like Skyrim had, right?
They could hire their Sky Oblivion team and they could probably remaster the game. So, let me ask you the question. What game would you like to see remade, remastered, / whatever, and why?
I already answered. What do you mean?
Alright.
Keep up on the discussion, boy. Fable.
Oh, that's right.
Even the audience knows the fucking...
I just want to confirm it. Are you sure it's Fable? Are you sure there's not any other series you would love to see remastered?
Well, if Spyro wouldn't be out, it would be Spyro. But they already did that.
Farther back?
No, that's it. Fable. I guess you could say maybe Crash to Insanity. I really love this game.
Never played it.
It had a lot of cut content, a lot of glitches. It could have been a lot better, but it was amazing. One of my favorite childhood games for sure. If they remade that, I would buy the shit out of it. I don't even care if there's microtransactions. Fucking do it, Activision.
Yeah.
Do it. Alright, so the whole episode we were talking about remasters and how great they are and how some of them are a bit lazy, but I want to mention, real quick, before we end the episode, what about the exact opposite of remaster? Downgrades. What are your thoughts on downgrades?
So, Black Ops 3 downgrade was the best downgrade of all time.
So, now we're actually talking about...
Sorry, we had Nick cut out. Alright, what were you saying?
No, I just wanted to state my point that Black Ops 3 downgrade was the best downgrade of all time.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's got the best graphics.
It had great memes come out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Derek Dolphin.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think of downgrades in general. Watch Dogs got a really big downgrade.
Yeah.
From its E3
Ubisoft
trailer.
games as a whole usually have downgrades from their reveal and the actual gameplay.
The thing is, you can re-enable those upgrades too in the PC versions. You can re-enable that.
What do you mean you can re-enable that?
If you go look up on the internet, Watch Dogs, people were able to re-enable the graphics.
Yeah, okay. But it was probably a performance issue with the consoles and stuff. That's probably why they downgrade so many shit. I mean, most E3...
The Division was also a really bad downgrade, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They should not have done that.
No, for sure. But, what are your thoughts on downgrades, though? Do you think they're okay that you reveal a game and, when it comes out it doesn't look as great, or is that lying to your customers?
You're basically lying. I think if you're going to release a game, you should show how you plan on releasing it instead of what it could look like and then getting rid of it, and then when people buy it, I understand people aren't going to remember unless they go look at themselves.
Yeah.
But it's you're lying to them, and the people that do know, it's just a big fuck you.
But at the end of the day, do the graphics really matter that much in a game?
It depends. It just depends. I think yes. If you're gonna show it, then yes.
Yeah, if you're mentioning your game has the best graphics and shit, and then it's not, it's yeah, okay, that was a complete lie.
Battlefield 4 looks amazing. Battlefield 3 even looks amazing on, I believe, last gen and Xbox One, even.
Yeah.
Did Battlefield 4 come out on last gen?
It did, yes.
It still looks alright. It still looks amazing on both. So,
I mean, I never really played it. I played a little bit of it. It didn't look that great on 360, anyways. But I mean, it's a last-gen console. I wasn't expecting beautiful graphics either.
On current gen now, It looks really good. And Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 5, they look amazing. Battlefield 5 looks amazing with ray tracing. But,
What about you, Jezzer? Any thoughts on downgrades?
Alright, you want to know my thoughts on downgrades?
He's about to shoot the fucking truth. Alright, listen.
Let's talk about Switch ports for a minute.
Yes, the
Switch ports. Fuck Skyrim on Switch, even though I play it whenever I don't need anything to do.
God. Skyrim on the Switch is really bad. It's like it's probably one of the worst ones. I mean,
it's gotta be played dock mode. Not dock mode.
Yeah. It has to be like you need the power to like upgrade the freaking power up the CPU and.
Wait, because the game doesn't run well.
I mean, the thing is with the Switch
it runs fine on docked.
When you dock the Switch,
yeah,
it actually boosts the CPU and the graphics.
Yeah.
So when you play, there are certain games, like they're mostly Switch ports that do that, but there are certain games that when you play them and they're...
Wait, Doom's coming on Switch?
It already is on Switch.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was a release title.
Oh,
I think.
Really?
So was Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah,
okay,
but
cool.
Mostly Switch ports, when you undock the console, they're chugging really hard. They have a hard time, like...
Must kill the battery, too.
My Skyrim's fine on Switch undocked. I liked it undocked. I don't like it docked, though.
Yeah, because then, like, it's not upscaled like an actual console,
Awful.
and it looks like trash.
Yeah.
It's awful.
But yeah, most Switch ports, I feel like, yeah, if like, let's say, like, not necessarily like a super young kid, but let's say, for example, like a 15-year-old who, like, his first console, like, his first big console that his parents buy him or whatever is a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even if they're downgrades, they're still going to be, like, good experiences. Like, you can still experience the game, but if you've played, like, for example, I was talking earlier about The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
If you've actually played The Witcher, like, say, on PC or on Xbox One, don't buy it on the Switch. Like, even if you... Like, the only reason you would want to do that is if you really want to play it, like, on your commute or whatever, like, from home to work. But if you want to do that, be prepared that playing it on handheld, it's not gonna look good. It's probably gonna have trouble with frames. I mean, it's gonna be playable, but it's gonna have a hard time.
They should call it The Witcher Downgraded instead of Remastered.
Yeah, it's not. They don't call it Remastered. They actually
I
just
know,
call
but
it Complete. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of ports. There's a whole bunch of ports that they're doing that I don't think make that much sense. But at the same time, it's still. I get why they do it. It's still an opportunity to get the games to people who have never played it. And
they have to start decreasing the prices of their games. Doom 2016 is still $60 on Switch.
Yeah, that's what I hate about the Switch. All the games are so expensive, but they're just ports of other games and they're downgraded versions.
Yeah, that's why I think ports on the Switch are not a good thing to buy, because they're still gonna sell them to you like full price or slightly lower than full price.
And it's worse.
And it's a port, and it's worse, and it's most of the time it's like 2 or 3 year old games like Doom 2016.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know why they do it with ports, but if we're talking like actual Nintendo games, I kind of get why they do it, because like Nintendo, they have like this, like, even though their game aren't the like the best graphics and stuff like that, they're still always really good games. And there's like that kind of Nintendo quality to it.
Yeah. So
I get why, like, even like it's been over 2 years since Breath of the Wild has come out, and it is still full price. It's $60 US, like
really?
80 Canadian. Yeah, it's still full price. Mario Odyssey is still full price. All the games are gonna be full price for a really long while, probably.
But they're exclusives for that.
Yeah, and they're also exclusive. So I mean, it makes sense that they do it. But yeah, I'm getting off topic of like Switch ports.
Yeah.
But yeah, Switch ports, like, they aren't that bad, but they're still bad.
But what are the exact specs of the Switch? They're pretty similar to the 360, right? They're like a slightly better version of the 360, I believe.
I mean, it has a mobile chip. I think it's a slightly upgraded chip of the Nvidia Shield.
Okay.
Which is not a home console.
No.
It's like a streaming console that can play some games. So yeah, the chip in itself, the CPU is an upgraded version of that, and I think it has a little bit better graphics also. So it's like a very slightly upgraded.
Oh, there. Someone just gave us the exact information.
Yeah, the exact spec sheet of the Switch.
So it has a Tegra personalized processor by NVIDIA.
Yeah, it's a Tegra 4 or Tegra 5 that's modified.
Yeah,
and I think it's the same. I think it's the same one from the NVIDIA Shield, but it's slightly upgraded.
I'm not talking about the console. I'm talking about like the tablet. I have the tablet of the NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah.
Wait, it only has 32 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But it has a SD card slot that can take up to 2 terabytes of storage, which 2 terabyte SD cards don't even exist at this point.
Yeah,
Still.
but I mean, 32 gigabytes. You can have like 2 games with this shit, right?
I mean,
Skyrim,
even if they're big games, I mean, Super Mario Odyssey, I think is like 12 gigs.
Yeah.
And Zelda, I think, is 9 or 11 or something like that. I mean, they're like super big games, but they don't take that much space on the Switch. So I mean, if you're going all digital, it definitely makes sense to get an SD card.
Oh yeah.
Like I have a 64 gig SD in my Switch.
I mean, it's kind of impressive how they can actually port these big games from, the current consoles like Xbox One and PS4 and make them work on the Switch.
Yeah.
They're downgraded, but they work.
They have to downgrade them because the actual games can't run with the Switch capabilities.
No, definitely. But yeah, I mean, some of them are better than others. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're pretty much at the end of this episode already.
Yep.
An hour and a half in. So, yeah, we had a lot of. We managed to do it, but oh boy, we had to reschedule, and actually, we had a lot of stuff to figure out. But we did it. We did it on schedule.
Yeah.
Weekly episodes.
I gotta peace out so I can go put my dogs to bed.
Yeah, exactly. We all have stuff to do. So, anyways,
we're done.
We're done. It's done. We actually recorded it. We were able to do it before Friday. I'm really happy we're able to stay on schedule. But yeah, anyways, huge shout outs to my boy once again, Trombonerist. Thank you for joining us once again.
I've been here 3 times.
He's been here 3 times. All right, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I'm leaving.
Alright.
And Jezer, once again, thanks for joining us from episode 1. And make sure you follow them both on their social medias and shit, and on Twitch, where they live stream like twice a year. So you don't want to miss the stream when it happens.
Yeah, both of us stream very rarely.
Yeah, but it's amazing when it happens. So make sure you check it out. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this week. Next week we're gonna have 2 special guests. So keep an eye out for that. I'm not gonna spoil who's gonna be there, but we're gonna have Tremont will be there. He's not a special guest, don't worry.
Yeah, and I won't be there sadly because I work. So
yeah, so no Jezer next week, sadly. But
I'll be there for episode 5 though.
All right,
make way for it.
There, we'll see if that's true or not on episode 5. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you join the Discord to become part of the community. Answer the question every week. And yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you are there next week for the special guest episode. It's gonna be great. All right, have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Who was it?
I don't remember his name. He was
we're DMing in the middle of the podcast. Who was it?
Does that say what I really think it says?
What? No, I meant like he does a finger.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my God! No, I just realized how wrong that fucking. I'm gonna edit that. Oh God.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's I don't remember which story it is. It might be Bonnie or no Bonnie. It's one. I think it's one of the guys at the restaurant.
Oh, is it the group at the restaurant?
The one with a beanie. Anyways, that's the guy who does a fuck you. Then you can kill him or not. Well, it's the guy from 400 Days. I just thought it was a cool Easter egg.